In sports news, United States, England, Ghana, Scotland and Kenya are expected to feature at the maiden edition of the Lagos International Scrabble Classics. The tournament will begin on the 23rd of this month till the 26th, with players competing in 3 events, the Masters, International, Intermediate and Opens. 28 games will be played across the 3 categories, as all foreign internationals will play in the Masters category, while the 2 other categories will be for non-Masters local players. The championships will take place at the Maradi Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium, and the only approved dictionary is the Collins CSW12. Nigeria produced an impressive performance to beat South Africa 3-1 and progress into the knockout phase of the African Nations Championships. Enyimba's Ejike Ozuenyi opened the scoring in the 22nd minute before Ifeanyede scored in the second from the penalty spot, which gave the home-based Eagles a comfortable lead into the break. Ejike put the result beyond doubt in the 64th minute to earn his brace and sent the host nation crashing out of the tournament, despite Bernard Parker converting a penalty in the 80th minute. In the other group of the Group A game, Mali claimed a 2-1 win against Mozambique to emerge winner with 7 points, with Nigeria finishing second with 6 points.
Ede connects with his ball, staring down Joseph. Ede got a full hand on it to Josephs, but couldn't prevent the ball finding the back of the net. Nigeria are 2 goals to the good against South Africa. They average 2 goals a game against the host nation of this African Nations Championships. They've found those 2 goals with just over half an hour gone by.
And here we go, guided Nigeria to that great success in South Africa. Down the near side, Uzueni back inside. Lovely touches from Nigeria. Uzueni looking for his second, and he finds it brilliantly. Surely now wraps up the Nigerian victory.
To the English Premier League, where Cameroonian striker Samuel Eto'o scored a hat-trick to give Chelsea a 3-1 victory over Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. David Moyes' side showed promise in the opening minutes of the game, but Eto'o opened scoring with a shot that deflected off Michael Carrick. Eto'o scored again just before the break, sweeping in from Gary Cahill's cross before sending in a third after the restart. Xavier Hernandez slid in a consolation, but Nemanja Vidic was sent off late on to complete United's misery. This is Manchester United's 7th defeat of the season, and it leaves them 14 points behind leaders Arsenal.
Back of Flores is too easy, they don't track him, but the ball in from Ericsson is absolutely...
Manuel Adebayor continues his impressive goal-scoring form under coach Tim Sherwood as Tottenham beat Swansea 3-1 at the Liberty Stadium. Adebayor scored twice, with his first coming in the 35th minute. Spurs doubled their lead 8 minutes into the second half when Chico Flores failed to clear a Kyle Walker cross, instead putting it into his own net. On 71 minutes, Adebayor scored Spurs' third before Swansea pulled the goal back with a Bonnie Wilfred volley.
Emmanuel Adebayor strokes it in for 3. And Spurs are heading back into the top 5.
And to tennis, finally, on sports, Novak Djokovic recorded another flawless performance as he reached the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. Now, the 3-time defending champion crushed Fabio Fognini of Italy 6-3, 6-love, 6-2 without losing a set. The Serb dropped just 10 points in the entire match, and Djokovic was so relaxed in his game that he even impersonates the service action, walk, and mannerisms of his coach Boris Becker.
Out of retirement, Novak Djokovic is back.
The foreign scene, world number 1 Serena Williams has crashed out of the Australian Open. Serena lost to a resurgent Ana Ivanovic 4-6, 6-3, 6-3 in the 4th round, ending her 25-match winning streak. Restricted by a back injury and numbed with painkillers, Serena struggled with her movement all through the game. She refused to blame the injury, however, for the shock exit. Now, tens of thousands of protesters have clashed with Ukrainian police in the country's capital, Kyiv. The protests are continuing despite new laws meant to curb public protest, one of which bans any unauthorized installation of tents, stages, or amplifiers in public places. It also permits the arrest of protesters who wear masks or helmets, among other restrictions. A hefty fine, a prison sentence awaits any offender. Ukraine's current anti-government movement began in protest at Mr. Yanukovych's decision in late November to pull out of a landmark treaty with the EU that has expanded to demand his resignation.
The past few weeks have been very challenging for the Ukrainian government. It not only faces calls for President Viktor Yanukovych to step down because of a refusal to agree to a landmark treaty with the EU, but it faces a defiant crowd of protesters not bothered by new laws clamping down on any form of protests. Today's rally was attended by tens of thousands of people who stood their ground despite calls from opposition leaders for calm. Clashes, however, broke out as some people headed away from the main square towards Parliament to vent their anger over the new laws. They ran into police cordons. They pelted the police with flares, thunder flashes and petrol bombs. They overturned a bus used by the police and set it alight. Other vehicles were also set on fire. One was pushed towards the police lines. Policemen, however, had to take shelter behind buses in front of their riot shields.
And the main news again. The quiet at the Anglican Church in Borikana, local government area of River State, was upturned today by thugs, numbering at least 30, who pounced on the Save Rivers movement, disrupting a planned rally, beating up anyone they reached. They also destroyed Channel's television property outside, broadcast satellite vehicles, making away with one camera and damaging many sorts of equipment. And the River State Governor, Chibuka Mechi, has accused the president and the police of being biased against the people of River State, an allegation denied by the police. And that's it on the news at 10. Many thanks for watching. I am Olivia Macaulay. Do have a good night and a great week.